Hi everyone, my name is Kudwa, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my latest project I've been working on. For the last 2 years, my channel has been kind of away. I have not been creating on Self-Mastery Mentor or on Lux Goddess, and I've been in a different realm. So I wanted to develop a business that integrated the two of them together with my consulting and my commercial real estate. I've spent a lot of time advancing in a telepathic realm that's been more on the business structure of global entities, 85 projects, tokenization projects, cinemas, global academies that are cinemas, and then also the teachings just behind life, consciousness, cases, consulting around cases, and different deeper legalities that we deal with when we deal with global terrorism. So I'm gonna go through each of my drafts. Right now I'm working on the 6th draft. I'm looking to actually trade part of it, percentages of it, not give it away. I will not give it away, but I would love to sell percentages and develop it into higher academic streamlines, such as course education, video game education, academics around CIA in general, and what to look out for, what to know, different avenues of work and how work is expanded. Sometimes when teenagers are going to college, they have a bit of a difficulty looking for the perfect alignment, and those individuals who may feel like they're on their own solo journey or don't have the guidance that other children have, they have a difficulty finding a career path that they want to stick to and invest into. So this is going to go through an entire mirage of what is out there in the world that we do not teach about in a standard college academy, or just looking at the list of what careers are. You know, life skills matter. Being out there, understanding people, understanding cultures, and really understanding a globe of cultures with the awareness of a cinema city. I was in Orlando for 8-10 years, something like that, and I just returned here for a quick while. Hopefully I'll be going somewhere else next, but we'll see. Michigan's home, and that's where I was able to make this project. So I'm gonna go through first and show you the different concepts I made. So I applied to CIA in 2023. I had a few timeshares arrive that were, of larger scale during a blue candidacy congressional exchange into red candidacy. During that time, I had my paralegal certificate as well as the class action timeline against a congressional audit trap. At that time, we were also dealing with the caves, the afterlives, and all of the afterlives that are in higher realms, such as the Christ Almighty's, Agarthian, and inner world and outer world extraterrestrials. So I put together this entire company and entity representing bases that will take away all of the scattered necessity of business climbing for things such as merchandising, and merchandising for things that we don't necessarily need, that are just taking up space and causing more trash and clutter, just things that people carry that we don't need. And this works more so with minimizing and with efficiency of minimizing and feeling happy with mission teams instead of one parallel individual living in their relationship arrangement, both working 2 different 9-to-5s. These are for mission teams where their money will be set through a project fund, and every single person in that group will be paid through the fund or a trust account transfer or a CIA agent trust account transfer. So the payment structures are different than a standard career. The payments are just autonomously integrated for the team, and the team members are all paid the same. They're in a marriage relationship. So if it's to, a husband and wife and the mother and father and their sibling and their partner, right? That's an arrangement. That would be a monogamous, standard American arrangement. If it's a group of friends that are all together and they've just been friends their whole life and they really want to grow up together and make that their arrangement, that's great. If it's a group of people from the LGBTQ crowd, that's awesome too. They can have their own group. And people who have more of a specialized arrangement, Trillionaire Angel Clubber or a confederation arrangement, which is, more so a team direction for a purpose, and would probably have a stronger of a military or CIA agent backing. those are, the polarities of where they go. So you can be whatever you are. Nobody else can define that for you, and anyone who tries to define that for you is then a legal case against you and the credibility of where you're going. So don't allow anyone to target you or push you into one way or the other. You have to find that stream yourself. In these though, okay, you're gonna notice really fun drawings. So I'm just gonna go through and like give you a couple of them. This is where it starts. So I made all these different bases. And this one, for example, is an academy, but you can't see it really. So like this is where the top would be, and then it would look like a treehouse inside. It would have large glass walls and glass structures. And this one is made over here is in Lake Powell. And they would just be mission unit areas where a group of CIA agents and the CIA agent teams, because you're always going to travel together, okay? The teams are always going to travel together. It's never part together, part off. The teams are the teams. So that way everyone can flow in a mission structure and have the stability they need of everyone around them, friends, family, people who expand their mind in different ways. And there is no switching. It's once you're committed and you're a mission team, that's your mission team forever. So this is another one I made. It's like a 4-tier structure that has a skywalk in the center. Just little concepts. These are obviously drawings in my notebook, so they're not gonna be anything elaborate. Here's the other page. There's 33 bases per continental zone, and each base represents a different structure of the world and society. And this is one of my little mini entities. There's many entities in there that are Astro Cadre mini entities. So I'll get there to that. I'm just giving you a quick rundown of my drawings. I started this December 4th of last year, 2024. I started this December 4th, 2024 was when I started the drawings. I had already previously written out the academies in 2024, earlier in the year, in June. However, they were already on my list of activities to plan and communicated about to attorneys and continental ambassadors regarding where I was going in the author career and the development of that. So American Citizenship Academy was one. The American Citizenship Academy has been something I've been thinking about since 2022 regarding my career in commercial real estate, hotel development, and hotel exchanges. It's just a different way of thinking and a different type of transaction. When you're specialized in that, you deal with a lot of different aspects of development, culture, cinema, congressional choice, congressional exchange, the lack of awareness towards that, citizenship, and the lack of awareness towards what attorney to hire and where to go. And then when you're a developer and you're international, understanding how you need to know what clearance codes are the codes that you need that are going to take away 2 to 3 years of your project time, because it matters more. It might cost more, it might be a while to get over the hecticness of a global audit. But once you have a global audit, you have a global clearance, and therefore then everything else accelerates. So there's so much in here. And this was in January of 2025. I had these finalized, the concept drawings were finalized from December 4th, 2024 to January of 2025, concept drawings. After that, I moved into just writing out the basic draft information and putting in the properties, which the properties can exchange, but you get the point. The locations are what matter. And so that really drew out the benchmark for where the entity was going, where the locations would be, based on my travel experience and where my investments have been in my duration of life. I feel strong energy lines are in each place. I have always studied astrocartography and the chakras of the world, so those are incorporated in here. My company, Lux Goddess, is all about manifestation, metaphysical world, understanding the polarities of energy, all 156 energies and how we integrate those energies, and then how you reach alchemy once you're able to transmute 156 energies. And trust me, when you're transmuting energies in a major form and in a minor form, and they're interchanging, and there's astrological transits, which do matter, and we'll talk about next. If you are not aware of that, you are so out of control of a dynamic of life that can harness so much power for you in your life moving forward. For example, if I have great energy lines in Texas, and that's where I'm going to have a great career, I'm going to meet people, and I'm not going to have conflicts, that's something I'm going to need to know if I am in my teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and I really want to make a big impact so I can live a different life in later years. And now that things are accelerating so much, we're having the opportunities and the avenues to move forward at 20, at 30, at 25, at 35. Like, it doesn't matter your age. There are 10-year-olds that are excelling so much. So it's about the access to energy and the access to information and the access to the people who provide us the source that we're looking for, because that's what information and energy is. It's all just our source. So whoever's source we connect to has some level of existence on that same energy match and has significance in our life. And when we don't study energy and we're only practical and we're only looking at numbers or one jurisdiction of a literature or a belief, we're missing out on the entire globe of existence that is. So it's ignorant, honestly. And you know, for so many years, people in older paradigms before technology was there, lived in a different lifestyle, they thought in a different lifestyle, and they had a pace that was different. So for them, it's almost like, nope, this is it, this is the truth, and that's all. But now that we have this opportunity to travel, and travel at such an affordable rate nowadays, to ignore all of the other paradigms, the other gods, the other energies, astrology, and all of the viewpoints and how it interconnects into the afterlives of existence, it's ignorant to miss that information. So I made all of this together in one large, you could say, academy. I mean, the thesis in itself, there's going to be 8 theses total. I'm on the 6th draft right now, and my 5th draft I finalized and copyrighted on 10/4/2025, but I have not been able to afford it. It's about $1,000 after the tip and tax and everything. So this is quite an investment to continue. And I'm on day 404 today. Straight, just from the drawings, not from the academies. From the academies and the beginning of the work and the paralegal course, I'm at 2 years. 2 years, so it's a lot. And then I have a travel academy, which is an extension. This is like 35 feet long, which is an extension of these theses. It's a development to where the project takes you. So in the 3rd draft, okay, this one it's a draft. And the 3rd draft, I have my apps. These are all my apps. Hold on. I have a foundation, the principles, the global locations. I have all the pins. There will be 10 continental zones, obviously, 1 on every continental zone. And this can be a project that can be funded. It can be an EB5. It can be a massive global project and for global citizenship. And if you would like to donate to me or speak with me, I would like that. I would also like to get paid, so we can make sure that's arranged. And these are my apps. I have Astro Cadre Teams, Outpost Booking, TAC Live Events, Ascension Investments, Crystals and Treasure, Metrics Insight, Metrics Transfer, Jackpot, Animal Call, Scene, Conscious Ascension, Static, Rotation, Spiritual Sustenance, Achieved, Grow Together, Astro Club, Animal Club, Angel Tea, Astroflex, Stimuli Collection, Apex Missions, SS Missions, and Transition App. So those are all the ones that I have for just this copy. The one I'm on now, I can't say it's a copy because it's my original. So this draft is 22 apps, and there's 25 technologies, 33 bases and 4 apex spaces, which are where the global meetings are going to happen. So say we have a major global terrorism attack. We have an AI clone attack through global cinema. It's killed 10,000 people, and it's uncontrollable, all right? It's attaching to airplanes, it's attacking military vessels, blah, blah, blah. You would go to the apex space. They would handle that. All right, and it does have, every branch of military is obviously intersected into this. You can't not have that. And Congress, that's all there. There's an American Citizenship Academy that I told you about. That one's a cool one. That's where you go once you know you've done something, or you've done something to the point that Americans aren't paid. You're going to the American Citizenship Academy. So what's going to happen there is you're going to have 2 apps that you're going to work with. You're going to have Metrics Insight and you're going to have Metrics Transfer. So when you go there, there's something that you did to harm an American that caused them to not be financially stable, to a financial point that it is now a cost to America. So you're going to go to the American Citizenship Academy instead of deport you right away. This is number 1 step for you to fix, okay? And then once you go there, you get Metrics Insight, and it says, these are all your metrics, and this is everything about you and your company and the areas where your company is, awarded a legal case, but they haven't been provided the case, so therefore it's a trajectory adjustment for you. So that's a compensation, and then here's a compensation, and here's a compensation. Here's your consciousness amounts, here's your teaching amounts, and here's everything that you've done to change America in a great way. Here are your totals that need to be adjusted so we can make sure there's an accommodation in order for your transaction to be sufficient and for you to move forward. So then we have them look at all the information and all the data about themselves. There's learning videos, there's apps, there's a bunch of different things you'll have to learn in my passage about all the details. There's so many details. And they'll be able to see what transactions they want to agree to in order to move forward. So they can sell a portion of their business, maybe their business is a merge with a few other businesses, or maybe their business is a downright transaction, and then they have 3 other opportunities to move forward to. So these are going to be the ones that give you the best trajectory, maybe a cinema trajectory, a construction and trades trajectory, or some sort of spiritual trajectory that they're looking for. And when they go into Metrics Transfer, they have the ability to click and agree to the transfer right there. Their casing attorney will go ahead and have the acquisition done. They'll be able to autonomously trade their old company and then revert into a new company. So the new company will be there within the next month, week, whatever their timeline is, and their attorney designated to their project will be the one that transfers them into the new career position and helps them get comfortable with the new business structure. So it just kind of helps move people in America that are stuck in businesses or really need a change and have the developmental abilities to excel in such a better way than where they're at, but they don't know how to get there. They don't have the tools to get there. So essentially it's just shuffling people from, one paradigm to the next paradigm to the next paradigm in a way that's going to be beneficial for them financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, and in their relationships. Because so many of the cases that we have in America that are the reason why citizen applicants are not getting American citizenship is because of their attitude. What they do to other people, what they say to other people, what they say about Americans, how they say about Americans' clothes, what they say about Americans' attitude, what they say about their hair, what they say about everything. I mean, it is insane. And once they get in with a group of Americans, then they try to attack another American. Like there's countries that are taught in school to climb on Americans to get where they need to go and shame them. So you need to understand how deep it really goes and what countries, what continents are naturally magnetized to that level of energy. There's other continents and there's other countries that are above that. They just don't resonate with that because the overall global energy of their zone doesn't carry that capacity. So America takes it all, gets it all, and then we have to clean it and funnel it all. And it takes people years to get citizenship because of that characteristic alone. And you can't teach someone attitude. Like, you can't teach someone attitude, because sometimes attitude is something that doesn't even have to do with the person they're dealing with. It's an attitude that's outside, that's contagious, that's getting them, and it's someone else's attitude clawing at them. So it becomes a domino effect of the next person, the next person, the next person. You see what I mean? So there are things that really do matter. Citizenship matters, obviously. Blue is cinema, we know that. Red is construction and trades, we know that. If there's a group of cinema individuals that are thriving through a blue cinema and a blue candidacy, they are going to attack anyone, get coverage, and they won't care. Red will be the ones that get attacked, because why not? They usually carry the assets, they usually trade the assets, they usually represent the assets. Those are the ones that cinema acting circles attack. That's America. So then that pulls a red candidate back for 2 to 3 to 4 years, where they are sanctioned to a character adjustment, attitude adjustment, clothes adjustment, house adjustment, car adjustment, time adjustment, everything adjustment. And yeah, there's attitude after that. But if it's someone causing it to perpetuate it and continue with it and mold it and shank it and try to be really grotty and dirty with it because it's a cinema and it's blue candidacy and they're going through a congressional exchange and they want to take advantage of you, trust me, they will take advantage of you and it will not matter. So you have to understand both sides. You need to understand the red candidacy, you need to understand blue candidacy, and you need to understand that with not only the American country, but also every other continent and how every other country runs their candidacy. Because no matter what they call it, no matter what they say, there is a cinema side and there is a construction and trade side. So you just need to know their polarities, whatever their title is, whatever the language is, and however they represent that. Those are the two polarities. So this goes over all of that. Like, this really goes into understanding Christ, understanding AI tech and the underworld of the AI Christ, understanding the Metaversal Christ, understanding a Garthian Christ, and it goes into all of the different zones where we may not otherwise reach. And those are aspects of everything in our life. Those are our clothes, those are the companies that we choose, how we represent ourselves, the alignment to our beliefs and how we speak about those. There are 3 subcategories that really represent the domination of where the individual is going when it circles around to their divination and their afterlife acceptance, whether it's in a shorter age or a larger age. There's a trajectory, and the people you're around obviously change that trajectory. So if let's say you're someone of the white candidacy, you're a Bible Belt, it's all about Christ and that's it, right? Okay, that's great. So that's one avenue. That's Christ Almighty and that's Christ's afterlife. You know there's a hell, of course, you know that's what? Satan, that's the devil, that's all that. So that would be Christ's AI, technology, clone, transhumanism, Satan, Christ, right? So there's Christ and then there's Satan. And then you have a different Christ, which are the Greek gods, you have the Agarthian gods, you have the Metaversal gods. So those are all different, you could say, doorways or avenues where this project takes everyone. When we look into the deeper realms of all the different types of gods, afterlives, the different types of cultures that access their gods and their goddesses, you'll notice that more as the volumes grow and we develop into larger thesis projects that I'm able to provide copies to. You'll understand the deeper realms of more of the different cultures and the access points to get to these other gods or goddesses and how to just align to them and understand who they are. So in the 3rd draft, you don't really notice a lot of that. This is more so just me putting out the technology, the integration of all the technologies, the apps, how the different mission teams will integrate together into different projects. There's Apex projects, which are more of your money streamlines, government streamlines, treaties, ambassadors, so forth, representing the business end of the movement of the world. The SS side is That as well, however, they deal with more of a Secret Service side. So they're going to deal directly with each of the global leaders. They're going to deal with interstellar leaders. They're going to be more on your Metaversal ambassador league and team. They're just thinking, moving, working, being at a different pace than Apex. Apex is more of your business-minded interaction, military, front-facing energy, and the SS is more of your CIA, Assassin's Creed, global terrorism, global funds, global anti-laundering, afterlife civilizations also taking terrorist attacks. It's just a different realm. So those individuals speak differently, they think differently, they move differently, they are different, their clothes are different, their attitude's different, and they're both the two arms that run the world. Those are not candidacy driven, they're just driven on how missions are run. So if you're more of the front-facing individual that really likes to be at a desk every day and work with the same people, maybe, travel in airplanes to different meetings and showcases, Apex is more your league. If you're more of the action-oriented, can change an outfit, change a city, change all those and fit into a mission zone where you need to make sure you get something done that's going to save a trajectory of the world or some global leader, that's SS Missions and SS Apex. There's a specialized school in here that is for SS individuals. It's called SS Angels. And what I really like about the project is that I have a children's academy and then an adoption academy. It's called Astronomers Adoption Ascension Academy. So it's 4 A's. And it's taking all the children who do not have leaders in their life and putting them into different mission zones and career zones that will put them off into a better foot and make them a better leader for everyone around them, which will also give children of adopted families and people who are alone and choose to be alone, even when they're in their teenage years of adoption, instead of choosing a family to go with, it'll provide them a mentor and a leader to look up to that they can aspire to be with or work in the program of and follow. So these mission teams are helping individuals, families, children, everyone just, really move towards what it is they want instead of chasing celebrities, chasing athletes, chasing a jersey or a trade on someone's jersey, because that just really falls down the realm of trafficking once you really go into it. And organized structure is different than trafficking. So you really want to make sure that you continue acknowledging your forward future, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road. And if your behaviors are aligning to that of an underworld or of a higher world or an Agarthian world and mission zone world, you have to decide where you're going. Nobody can decide that for you. And no leader should be telling you where to go. All of your individual characteristics, your alignments to your choices are going to direct you in your path. This is just a guide to provide you what's in the world that people don't talk about. And even when you are close with friends, not everyone talks about this stuff. Like, you may go to brunch or hang out with your friends watching a movie or whatever you do. These are probably not conversations you're having with somebody. So looking at it, analyzing it, whether or not it aligns to you or not, there is information in there that will expand your mind and expand your consciousness. And the more that you grow your brains and grow your telomere connections to areas of your brain that you've never accessed, lit up and enhanced, trust me, your life changes. And your trajectory of everything you touch changes. Your career changes, your social circles, and your relationship. So this is a great thing for expanding all of that. I am really excited about this project and I want to keep going. Right now I think I'm at capacity, but it's my life, so I got to keep it going. And this one here is the fourth one. This copyright was in August. The third one, the copyright was in April, and then this one's August. Now, this one is only 1,000 pages, and the fourth draft, this one has a deeper detail into more of the academies being expanded out. This also has deeper detail into global locations. So there's actually cameras and photos attached So you'll be able to see the global locations that I chose, which are in itself vacation destinations, but they're also areas to study and share a great conversation about. If you have a business meeting or a partner or clients that really enjoy travel, this would be something great to discuss regarding different locations. You know when people, okay, let's say the industries where people are together all the time and it's always small talk, right? You know how the relationship becomes stale at work and then it's just like there's nothing that you click on, you don't really know what to talk about, you're maybe not getting along that time. Something like this will spark your brain a bit to give you something new to look into, at least location wise. People always talk about travel. In the back of the 4th draft here, I do go into detail on security clearances. So these are just discussing different more interstellar clearances. So we've got Antarctica, cosmic trade, which is any sort of governmental trade with an interstellar life. We've got Metaversal, teleportation tunnels, space-based development, and the afterlife and the Agarthians. And, there's a ton. So, but this one is very light on clearance side goes. And in the back, there is an assessment. So you can assess yourself on what bases you feel are most aligned to you and why those are aligned. But that one is in the 4th. So this one I believe is about $800 just for the cost of the book to be printed. And the 5th one is about $1,000 with, tip and cost, but that's for the book developer. That's his cost. I have not added a total for myself. I would love to speak to people about it, and I would love to, like I said, work on a developmental aspect of this, not only from a large global transaction, it can be a large global EB5 citizenship, but also, and the development of the actual entities, but on a financial streamline, creating academic cinemas about it would be a quicker way to achieve a large sum of money and a consciousness amount towards what you're achieving and teaching and changing the world into with just this. So the 5th one, okay, I don't have the 5th one. I wish I had it. I do not have the 5th. I'll get the 5th soon. And that one is 1,500 pages. I really go into an expansion on that in clearance zones and what else did I develop in the 5th? I should look at it. It's right here. I'm going to look at it. And in the 6th draft, which is where I'm at now, the 6th draft is 1,700 pages, and that one is mostly just an expansion of clearance dimensions. Now, you can look at this if you want to look at it live right now. You can go to the Google Drive link. I'll put it down here. The Google Drive link will show everything from my business financials into the interest application, which is what I told you was in the 4th draft, just to get your mind thinking. The current working drive files, so you'll be able to see me working on it actively, and it will be live updates every day of what I'm working on. You'll notice the Travel Academy in there, which is this right here, and you'll be able to look at that. The 5th draft is the last one published, so and the previous drafts are there. But yeah, I'm so excited to share this with somebody. I really would like to expand this in ways beyond what I can explain through a video. There's so much. I just love to teach people. Okay, so if you go into the 6th draft working drive files, you're going to notice there's 7 renditions, all right? You're going to see all of my task flow, which is everything I'm working on currently, just to get to the 6th draft copyright. It'll probably be a few months or more. It's so tedious. It takes so much time. I have not used AIs. I have not used assistants. I've been the only physical creator on this. I have not taken my ideas from somebody else. I have not taken my ideas from a competitor, a friend, a company, an entity. These have all been in my 2 years of solitude in recreating my businesses. When I was in Orlando, I had to leave everything there pretty much like really quick and return to Michigan. And we were dealing with a global transaction and a global terrorist attack case. And it was through a blue candidacy and a congressional exchange, through a cinema, through a CIA agent training. And you can't explain that to somebody unless you're in it, unless you have been in it, unless you know it, unless you're in it, you don't explain it to somebody. It just is known and understood. And so that's, that changes your life, obviously. And I made all of this to teach people about it. So the Travel Academy here is a long list. Okay, some of the apps are in there, like you're gonna see TAC live events is in there. TAC is one of the events that I made. It's all for conscious audio. So when you go to concerts sometime or an event and sometimes it's great, right? You fit in, that's your jam, that's your everything. And then sometimes you go and it's like, why am I here? Like, I should not be here. These aren't my kind of people. I'm uncomfortable. And then people adjust their attitude about you. People say things about you. People judge you. People put you in a category that isn't true. It changes all things. So when you don't have that awareness, sometimes you don't know until you get there. Yeah, you just don't know until you get there. And once you're there, you're already there. You already spent the money. You're already around the people. Now you're uncomfortable. You can just leave, but then you have to worry about bouncing away from the people who wanted you to be there in the first place. It's just uncomfortabilities that I find easy to be avoided if we had a platform that provided a consciousness around what we were listening to, what the words were, who the artists were, what their clearance dimension was, and what their trajectory of their clearance is. For example, let's say we take an artist that really works with people who are transcending through depression, loss, some sort of setback or struggle, right? I don't know what everybody's problem is, but everybody has their highs and lows. And this artist has always been the type of one to provide positive music. The notes are cute. The notes are safe and comfortable, and all ages can get along with it. That's the type of audio that would be chosen versus something that's individualized to one person's taste. It may not be correctly appropriate for other realms of categories. This is conscious audio that's for everybody and acknowledged in that type of way. There's a care for that. And this Travel Academy here goes through so many locations. It's a 7-month trip, okay? It's a 7-month trip. It's $5 million for 75 people. That's not a lot of money. It's just like a Motel 6 nowadays. If even nowadays, literally almost it's like a highway in the middle of the country. But, a highway property. Yeah, this goes through all the different bases. So they're going to actually go through all the base locations. They're going to visit them, and then they're going to stop and meet with Galactic Federation. They're going to meet with different aliens, interstellar life, military life, civilians, and aerospace if there's a contract or a deal that needs to be done, or some sort of specialized project. I could take this off. Yeah, let me get this off. Boop. CIA will work with them in different realms. They'll work with different afterlives. They will work with different projects that they're working on as far as like architecture goes and closing transaction goes and blah, 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 blah. So you get where it goes, right? So that's the outline of what you would be doing. It's very tedious. I mean, a lot of it's, being gone by 7 a.m. and you got your food lined out. You've got your coffee shops. You've got your alien encounters. You have mining encounters, crystal encounters, just everything that it's encompassed into. And I believe I did already say Astro Cadre was the name of this. If I didn't, that's the name. Astro Cadre Thesis, Advancement Civilization Thesis. And it's cute. I don't know, it's just fun. A lot of these places I've been and visited, and the energy is heightened. For example, there's 2 heart chakras in the world. There's one over near London, and there's one near Hawaii. The one in Hawaii is on Maui, and it's the 2nd heart chakra. So having access to those energy portals can enhance your energy frame in the areas that you need it enhanced in. So visiting those are important if you care about that. A lot of Southern American countries care about that culture. A lot of Central American care about those cultures, as well as Australian and the Asian cultures. Now, Americans have been a little bit slower to move into that frame, and they are now, especially with TikTok and the way information has been traveling. So that is actually in the book in base 20. In base 20 is the Metaversal author collaboration, tarot cards, and astrology. So this one is a Metaversal library, you could say. It is a hologram facing book structure that anytime the sun hits it, throughout the hours of the day that the sun is hitting it, the different angles will bring out hologram codes. So if you're there and you're writing and you're expanding on your work in any realm of existence, you'll be able to sit outdoors near some of the designated areas or have a TRVA that faces at the book, and you'll be able to watch different codes from ancient civilization and different academics that are associated to Astro Cadre or have an Astro Cadre team. They will be able to see another team's codes that brought them into clearance. You see what I mean? So I have my code. My codes are on my arm right here on my this tattoo. It's a formula that says knowledge is power. When you use your intuition to understand the deeper parts of the universe, you transcend duality to create your own reality. And that's essentially breaking through the paradigm of alchemy. We have to have our 10,000 hours in order to reach mastery. And once we have mastery reached, it's just a natural state of alchemy that we aren't trying for. It's just always with us, and those skill sets are with us forever. So that's what that is about for me. And that's what my code would end up being. So I would love for people to look at it. I mean, there's so much in here. If you're in the legal world or you deal with global cinema, global terrorism, global financial cases and the restructure of financial cases, go into the 6 draft working draft files and look into rendition 5. Rendition 5, and today is 111. So rendition 5 as of 111. All right. After 111, it might be a different rendition, but right now it's rendition 5. And today's the 6-year anniversary of my Self-Mastery Mentor company and the 5th anniversary of Lux Goddess. So this is exciting to put this all together. And my ANK consulting, which is more so for deal transactions and telepathic abilities, but also telepathic abilities in Lux Goddess, but the telepath on the ANK side is more so with transactions and where the best developments or projects or mission zone areas would be the best spot to choose. See what I mean? They're 2 different realms. And yeah, that one I started in April of 2018. So now we'll be at 8 years. Wow. Well, all right. Okay, so if you go into my project here, don't mind me. I'm just gonna be comfortable on this video. I don't care. If you want to talk, let me know. I would love to, but I'm just not even gonna. Okay. Here we go. Here's the grid view. All right. Go down to clearance dimensions and you'll see the first 564 are the main zones of clearance dimensions. When you go into the advanced section, that's called complex clearance dimensions. And that one will explain more of afterlife civilizations, cinema awareness, cinema cases, and the developments around cinema cases, as well as payment structure of cinema cases. And then we have global civilization clearances. That's where I am. I'm complete with that section. Where I'm currently at right now is Astro Cadre Team's specialized clearance. That's where one of the sections I'm expanding, as well as matrix clearance. And the last one that I'm expanding is galaxy clearance. So those are the spots I'm at. You could say I'm a little bit addicted to creating it and making it. This has been my fuel source for the last 2 years consistently and been my largest investment. I have put all of my time and energy into this in a solitude state. I'm now in the phase of being ready to expand it out, whether that is a business partnership, a submission for a creation their AI computers are able to make. I do care about the zone that the AI computers go to. I would prefer this to be more on an Agarthian basis and more on the academic teaching perspective for an Agarthian civilization afterlife or a Metaversal Christ afterlife. I believe in regular standard Christ Almighty afterlife as well as the cave afterlife. I understand those realms. All of those realms are important to me, and those are two polarities that I do feel an important need for clearance in all dimensions. If you're going to be of the highest clearance, you need to be able to reach them all. And I understand the necessity. However, the main category that this project is aligned to and will always be aligned to is the Agarthian civilization afterlife and the Metaversal Christ afterlife. So those are going to hold the highest precedence of where these are going to go. And the type of AI that I am looking to integrate the project with in order to advance it. As well as the partner's personal belief. I mean, here's the thing. There has to be a partner or an existence of an entity that agrees with the cave afterlife and the advancement there. There has to be a partner or an entity that believes in the Christ Almighty afterlife and has that existence there. But then there also needs to be one for Metaversal Christ and the Agarthian Christ. And so when it comes to my personal arrangement, I only can accept Agarthian and Metaversal, only, or Christ. That's where I go. As a telepath, I'm a Grand Water Trine. As a psychic trilogy, I absorb so many people's energy, and those are the alignments that are proper for me, which is an Astronaut Confederation team. Trillionaire Angel Clubbers are more of your cave afterlife and your Christ Almighty afterlife. And they usually try to strive for Agartha, but that's not how it works. There are certain zones of Agartha they will go for their clearance and their designation, but that's not the throne of Agartha. The clearance to go there is of a construction and trades consistency background and often aligns to a Confederation astronaut team or an aligned astronaut confederation team. Okay, so confederations are not against any color. It's an alignment of a team source. So let's say it's 5 military captains and 1 military couple, and the other 5 military captains are just with them. They're not in this world for any cinema desire. They're in this world for the military purpose of surrounding and protecting that couple. That's what a confederation team is. So, I want people to understand what the meaning is and not to get that twisted. A lot of times that can change the direction of how people speak about it, present it, and then have discrepancies when business transactions appropriately align themselves. I think that is everything that I need to talk about. Like I said, my finances are there. I have not added any time. So my personal investment as far as my time goes and the value on my time is only going to be understood through an astronaut cleared and an astronaut confederation cleared computer, which means it's going to be reviewed in higher military sectors or in a higher globalized tokenization platform from a cinema perspective, or from a global fund account that would have all global CIA agencies plugged in. That is the only way to understand my true value. And truthfully, that's the transaction I'm looking for, someone to provide that. I am totally all right with their percentage of what is rightful as a broker, an agent, an attorney, a representative for an agency. I have no argument towards anyone. Everyone needs to be paid, and their correct fees will be on that computer and digitized through all continental zones that will be in agreement. When all continental zones have an ambassador meeting and all have an agreement towards the correct, accurate totals, it doesn't matter to me what somebody else is charging. It doesn't matter because the charges aren't there. It's just a funnel of money through always characters that's perpetuated, corrected, and then awarded appropriately to each person because everybody plays a role. So that's how I see transactions. That's how I would like to be treated, represented, talked to, and met. I don't need anything else. If you have things you want to teach me, I would love to be taught. I love new information. Making this alone has obviously taken me away from the ability to interact with people and carry relationships that I value and care about. However, with financial adjustments needing to be done, you have to take time away and you're not able to build on those relationships. So this is where I'm going. This is what I've made. You can view on my links here all of the additional information and the areas where I'm at. Like I said, if you're dealing with global terrorist cases, there are conscious awarenesses to the clearance dimensions that I have put out there. Make sure you're looking at that, because if you're stuck in a case and you are not able to advance yourself over this client or this case or this terrorist attack or this AI creature that's out of control or this afterlife that is depleting a certain zone of your country, then look in those clearance dimensions. You will probably be amazed at how much that can alter consciousness for you and close your case immediately. So I hope you enjoy this. My name is April Kudwa and my phone number is 989-277-8511. I appreciate text messages and a call with a voicemail. I'm available to meet for coffee via Zoom. We can discuss fees. I would like to preferably charge $1,000 per day just to discuss on this, because we're going to talk so much into detail on everything, and that will at least get me my fifth draft. Not a copy. It's not a copy. My fifth draft. So like I said, I am the individual, alone creator, no assistants, no AIs, no tech tools, myself, my brain, and Canva, and my notebooks. I hope you like it.